The story is about Michael Harris, a widower who just lost his wife, Emily, after a difficult childbirth. Emily passed away, leaving Michael to raise their newborn daughter, Lily, alone. Michael struggles to cope with the grief and care for his daughter. Welcome, dear friends. Today we embark on an emotional journey as we explore the story of a widower who finds a second chance at love and family in the darkest moment of his life. Let us enjoy this tale together. Michael Harris stood still at the hospital nursery window, his eyes fixed on the tiny bundle of roses stirring in the crib. A lump formed in his throat as he looked at his newborn daughter, Lily, who had only let out a weak cry 3 days ago when he buried his beloved wife, Emily. Emily had tragically died after a grueling 2-day labor. The doctors had warned them about the risks of a dangerous pregnancy at Emily's age, but she was determined to have a child. At 35, Emily knew her biological clock was ticking, and she desperately wanted to experience the joy of motherhood. Despite the complications, the pregnancy had gone smoothly until the fateful day Emily went into labor. Michael's mind flashed to the moment the doctor stepped out of the delivery room, his face solemn. "Mr. Harris, I'm very sorry. We did everything we could, but we couldn't save her." The words hit Michael like a sledgehammer, knocking his breath out. He had collapsed into the nearest chair, his body shaking with uncontrollable sobs. Now, as he looked at his daughter, Michael felt a mix of intense love and crushing pain. How could he raise this child alone? How could he face the future without Emily by his side? A nurse approached, holding Lily in her arms. "Mr. Harris, it's time to take your daughter home," she said gently, placing the baby into his trembling arms. Michael looked down at Lily, her tiny face scrunched up in sleep. He knew he had to be vital to give her the love and care she deserved. With a heavy heart, he carried his daughter out of the hospital and into the unknown. Grace, Michael's longtime housekeeper, was anxiously waiting at the front door as he arrived home with Lily. Grace rushed over as soon as he stepped inside, her arms outstretched. "Oh, let me see the little angel," she said softly, taking Lily from Michael's arms. "She's adorable, Mr. Harris, and she looks just like Mrs. Harris. Bless her soul." Michael's heart tightened at the mention of his late wife. He looked at Lily, trying to find the resemblance, but all he could feel was the overwhelming weight of grief. Grace seemed to sense his sorrow and placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "I know it's hard, Mr. Harris, but remember this is your daughter. She is a part of you and Mrs. Harris. You have to be strong for her." Michael nodded, swallowing the lump in his throat. "I know, Grace. It's so hard without Emily." "I understand, Mr. Harris, but you're not alone. I'm here to help you every step of the way." Grace's words were a small comfort, but Michael knew he had a long road ahead. A month had passed since Michael brought Lily home, and he was at wit's end. Night after night, Lily's piercing cries echoed through the house, leaving Michael exhausted and desperate for a solution. He had called the pediatrician twice, seeking advice on soothing his inconsolable daughter. Dr. Mitchell assured him that Lily was perfectly healthy and suggested that her constant crying might be a reflection of Michael's deep sorrow and depression following Emily's death. "Babies are susceptible, Mr. Harris," Dr. Mitchell explained over the phone. "Lily can sense your pain through the innate bond between father and daughter. I advise holding her close, taking her for walks, and trying not to show sadness around her." Michael sighed, running a hand through his tousled hair. He knew the doctor was right, but doing it was easier said than done. Whenever he looked at Lily, he was reminded of the love he had lost and the future stolen from him. Determined to follow Dr. Mitchell's advice, Michael began taking Lily for daily walks in the park near their home. He hoped that the fresh air and change of scenery would help calm her and, in turn, bring him some much-needed peace. During one of their daily walks in the park, Michael noticed a little girl, no older than 7, stepping out from a gap in the fence. Her eyes sparkled mischievously as she skipped towards them, her tattered dress fluttering in the wind. "Hello," she chirped, peeking into Lily's stroller. "What a cute baby." Michael smiled, surprised by the child's friendly demeanor. "Thank you. Her name is Lily. I'm Michael. And you are?" "I'm Sophia," the girl replied with a bright smile. "I live in the orphanage across the fence. I like to sneak out and explore." Lily began to fuss as if on cue, her cries growing louder by the second. Michael moved to pick her up, but Sophia was quicker. "Can I?" she asked, pointing to the baby. Michael hesitated for a moment before nodding. He watched in amazement as Sophia gently lifted Lily from the stroller, cradling her in her tiny arms. "Shh, it's okay," Sophia cooed, rocking Lily back and forth. "Sometimes babies just need to be held the right way. Try laying her on her side like this." To Michael's astonishment, Lily's cries almost immediately ceased. He looked at Sophia, gratitude and curiosity mingling within him. "How did you know to do that?" he asked, astonished by the girl's instinct. Sophia shrugged, a sad smile forming on her lips. "I used to have a little sister," she said softly before trailing off, her eyes filled with emotion. Michael sensed more of Sophia's story, but didn't want to pry. Instead, he offered to buy her an ice cream as a token of his appreciation. From that day on, Michael and Sophia began meeting daily in the park. Sophia's presence has a calming effect on both Lily and Michael. He looked forward to their encounters, and as they spent more time together, Sophia slowly opened up about her tragic past. She had lost her entire family in a horrific car accident just a few months prior. Michael's heart ached for her, recognizing the pain of loss in her eyes. He felt a strange kinship with her, two souls bound by their shared experience of grief. One afternoon, Michael arrived at the park with Lily, eagerly awaiting their daily rendezvous with Sophia. However, as minutes turned into hours, there was no sign of the lively little girl. A sense of unease washed over Michael as he waited, holding a fussy Lily in his arms. After an hour passed, he decided to investigate. He approached the orphanage where Sophia lived, greeted by the director with a somber expression. "Mr. Harris, I'm afraid I have some bad news," she began, her voice heavy with concern. "Sophia was severely beaten by some other children last night. They were jealous of the gifts and attention you've been giving her." Michael's heart sank, guilt flooding through him. "Is she okay? Where is she now?" "She's recovering in the hospital," the director replied, her tone softening. "But Mr. Harris, I must warn you. While your visits with Sophia are well-intentioned, they may do more harm than good. She's been through so much, and forming attachments only to have them severed is not healthy for a child in her situation." Michael nodded, understanding the director's concerns. He knew he had to be careful not to give Sophia false hope, but he also couldn't bear the thought of abandoning her after everything she had done for him and Lily. In the days following Sophia's hospitalization, Michael found himself grappling with a decision that would change the course of his life. The more he thought about the little girl who had brought light into his darkest days, the more he realized their paths were intertwined. With a newfound sense of purpose, Michael spoke with Grace, his eyes shining with determination. "Grace, I've made a decision," he announced calmly. "I'm going to adopt Sophia." Grace's face lit up with surprise and joy. "Oh, Mr. Harris, that's wonderful news," she exclaimed, clasping her hands together. "I think it's a great idea, and I know Mrs. Harris would be so proud of you for opening your heart again." Michael smiled, feeling a sense of peace over him for the first time since Emily's death. "I want to convert the guest room into a second nursery for Sophia. Can you help me with that, Grace?" "Of course, Mr. Harris. I'll get started right away," Grace replied, her eyes glistening with happiness. As Michael began making the necessary arrangements to adopt Sophia, he couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and apprehension. He knew that raising two young daughters as a single father would be challenging, but he also knew it was the right thing to do. Michael felt excitement when the day finally came to bring Sophia home from the hospital. He walked into her room, a bouquet of colorful balloons in hand, and was greeted by Sophia's beaming face. "Michael?" she exclaimed, her eyes wide with surprise. "What are you doing here?" Michael sat on the edge of her bed, taking her small hand in his. Sophia, I have something important to ask you, he began, his voice trembling slightly. How would you feel about coming to live with me and Lily? Forever. As a family? Sophia's eyes filled with tears, her lower lip quivering. You mean you want to adopt me? She whispered, hardly daring to believe it. Michael nodded, a lump forming in his throat. More than anything, Sophia. You've brought so much joy and light into our lives, and I can't imagine our family without you in it. With a cry of pure joy, Sophia threw her arms around Michael's neck, hugging him tightly. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes, she exclaimed, her face wet with happy tears. As Michael held Sophia close, he felt a sense of wholeness he hadn't experienced since Emily's death. He knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but with Sophia and Lily by his side, he felt ready to face any challenge life threw their way. A year later, Michael stood in his backyard, watching Sophia and Lily play together on a colorful picnic blanket. The sun shone, and the air was filled with their laughter and the sweet scent of blooming flowers. Grace exited the house carrying a tray of freshly baked cookies. Look at you, Mr. Harris, she said, her eyes twinkling with pride. A year ago, you were a man drowning in grief, and now look at the beautiful family you've built. Michael smiled, his heart overflowing with love and gratitude. I couldn't have done it without you, Grace, he said, touching her shoulder. You've been our rock through it all. Michael felt a profound sense of peace as he watched his daughters play. He knew Emily was looking down on them, smiling at the family they had become. Thank you, Emily, he whispered, his eyes brimming with tears. Thank you for giving me the strength to love again, to build this beautiful life with our daughter and Sophia. I promise to cherish every moment and make you proud every day. With his heart full of love and a promising future, Michael hugged his daughters close, ready to embrace the joys and challenges of fatherhood and create precious memories as a family united by love, resilience, and unbreakable bonds of the heart. This story is truly touching and inspiring. It vividly portrays Michael's grief while conveying a message of resilience and the ability to find hope even in the darkest times. Michael is inspiring, demonstrating strength and unconditional love for his daughter Lily. His decision to adopt Sophia, an orphaned girl, shows his generosity and kindness. Sophia brings joy to Michael and Lily and helps them heal, creating a warm new family. The relationship between Michael and Sophia is beautiful, highlighting the special connection between two people who have experienced loss. Sophia is a brave and intelligent girl, capable of caring for and comforting others despite her young age. This creates a special bond between her and Michael, helping them overcome difficulties together. Ultimately, the story affirms the value of love and family. Despite life's challenges, love and attachment can help people overcome anything. The story leaves readers with a warm feeling and belief in the power of love and kindness. This is a meaningful and profound story, evoking many emotions and positive thoughts about life, love, and family.